For over a century, Panama's 51-mile canal has been the world's crossroads, connecting the Atlantic and Pacific, powering global trade. But now, as Arctic ice melts, new sea routes are emerging, challenging Panama's dominance for the first time. The future of trade is shifting north, and the world is watching, because what happens next will affect us all. To understand Panama's power, you must first understand a critical, yet often overlooked part of global shipping transshipment. Think of it like a central hub for an airline. You might fly from a small city to a massive international airport, like Atlanta or Dubai, before catching a connecting flight to your final destination. Transshipment is the same concept, but for cargo. Huge motherships, too large to dock at smaller ports, unload their containers at a central hub. From there, smaller feeder vessels pick up the boxes and distribute them to dozens of other ports across the region. This hub-and-spoke model is the backbone of modern logistics. Panama is the world's ultimate transshipment hub. Its geographic location is simply perfect. It sits at the nexus of North and South America, bridging the two largest oceans on Earth. This unique position has allowed Panama to build a logistics empire. Giant container terminals on both its Atlantic and Pacific coasts act as massive sorting centers for the Western Hemisphere. Cargo from Asia arrives, gets sorted, and is then reloaded onto ships headed for the U.S. East Coast, the Caribbean, or the entire west coast of South America. Panama isn't just a shortcut. It's a giant, essential sorting machine for global trade. This role as a transshipment titan has given Panama immense economic and strategic influence. The country profits not just from canal tolls, but from a vast ecosystem of port fees, warehousing, and logistics services. It has become an indispensable link in the supply chains of global giants like the United States and China. For many nations in Latin America and the Caribbean, Panama is their primary gateway to the rest of the world. Losing access to Panama's transshipment hubs would be catastrophic, effectively cutting them off from the global economy. This dependency has cemented Panama's monopoly. But a monopoly built on geography is only secure as long as that geography remains unchallenged. The opening of the Arctic routes threatens the very foundation of Panama's power. If a new, shorter path connects Asia directly to Europe and the North American East Coast, why would ships need to travel all the way down to Central America? The hub-and-spoke model could be upended. New hubs could emerge in places like Iceland, Norway, or even Alaska. The entire logic of global shipping, which has been centered on Panama for a century, could be rewritten. The transshipment titan is facing its first real test. The Panama Canal began as a dream, one of ambition, failure, and ultimate triumph. The French tried first, but the jungle, disease, and disaster defeated them. Panama became a symbol of human arrogance humbled by nature. Then, the United States took over, determined to succeed. They fought disease with science and medicine. With the threat contained, the Americans dug on, and the dream was reborn. Building the Panama Canal was like fighting a 10-year war against geology. The solution? Ingenious locks and lakes, lifting ships 85 feet above sea level, millions of gallons of water, powered by gravity alone, raise vessels step by step. Workers carved through mountains and battled landslides in Hell's Gorge. The Panama Canal stands as a testament to human ingenuity, a true engineering marvel. The Panama Canal's opening in 1914 instantly rewired global trade, shrinking the world overnight. Connecting the Atlantic and Pacific, it became the heartbeat of commerce, fueling growth and uniting markets. Day and night, ships flow through this vital artery, carrying the lifeblood of global trade. Panama's canal remains the king of transoceanic shipping, its pulse felt worldwide. Panama isn't just a canal, it's the king of global shipping hubs. Here, massive ships unload containers, which are swiftly sorted and reloaded onto smaller vessels, connecting dozens of ports across the Americas. This hub-and-spoke system makes trade faster, cheaper, and more efficient, turning Panama into the indispensable linchpin of Western Hemisphere commerce. Panama's geography is its greatest power. The tiny Isthmus of Panama connects two continents and two oceans, making it the world's gateway for trade. The canal transformed a barrier into a shortcut, linking Asia, the Americas, and Europe. Today, superpowers rely on Panama's route, giving this small nation global influence far beyond its size. For a century, Panama has held a near monopoly on fast, efficient interoceanic trade in the Americas. The 2016 expansion was a multi-billion-dollar gamble, ensuring Panama could serve the world's largest ships and protect its dominance. Any competitor faces enormous barriers: financial, political, and environmental. For global trade, all roads lead through Panama, a single point of failure, but an unrivaled fortress of commerce. When the Panama Canal faces trouble, the world feels it. A single choke point here can disrupt global trade overnight. Recently, drought dropped water levels, forcing drastic restrictions and causing massive shipping delays. Ships backed up, costs soared, and supply chains everywhere were thrown into chaos. The world's reliance on this single canal is risky, fueling the search for new routes as climate change reshapes global trade. Far from Panama's heat, the Arctic is transforming. Once locked in ice, it's now warming nearly 4 times faster than the rest of the planet. Each summer, the Arctic sea ice shrinks to new lows, and the ice grows thinner and younger. This great thaw is unlocking a dream centuries old, a commercially viable northern sea route. What was once fantasy is now reality. Ships are already crossing the top of the world. The Northern Sea Route, or NSR, now stretches along Russia's Arctic coast, open for months instead of weeks as ice recedes. Russia is seizing this moment, declaring the NSR its internal waterway, pouring billions into icebreakers, ports, and military bases. The NSR is Russia's answer to the Suez Canal, a toll road it alone controls, offering a shortcut between Asia and Europe. For shippers, the route is 40% shorter from Shanghai to Rotterdam, saving up to 2 weeks. Time is money, but the Arctic is unpredictable. Ice, harsh weather, and mandatory Russian escorts add cost and risk, placing cargo under Moscow's authority. The NSR is fast becoming Russia's strategic toll booth, profitable, powerful, and fraught with geopolitical tension. Across the Arctic, the Northwest Passage winds through Canada's icy archipelago, a route once fatal for explorers, now slowly opening. Melting ice has made the passage navigable in late summer, offering a shortcut from Asia to the U.S. East Coast, bypassing the Panama Canal. But legal disputes stall its rise. Canada claims it as internal waters, while the U.S. and others insist it's an international strait. This uncertainty keeps major investment at bay, leaving the passage a shortcut in waiting. If resolved, the Northwest Passage could reshape trade, challenging Panama's dominance and creating new northern hubs. The legendary route, once a graveyard, is awakening as a potential artery of 21st century commerce. The opening of Arctic routes is redrawing the world's commercial map, turning the Arctic from a barrier into a bridge. Nations with Arctic coastlines, Russia, Canada, the US, Denmark, Norway, are scrambling to claim resources and shipping lanes. This shift threatens Panama's canal revenues and global status, as northern ports stand to gain. Ironically, the fossil-fueled trade that built the old order is melting the ice that now undermines it. The Arctic is no longer remote. It's the new frontier of economic and geopolitical competition. The world must adapt as the Arctic becomes central to global commerce. Arctic routes offer dramatic shortcuts. Shanghai to Rotterdam via the NSR is 40% shorter than the Suez route, saving up to 15 days. For Asia-US East Coast trade, the Northwest Passage could cut over a week off the journey compared to Panama. These time savings mean faster deliveries, less capital tied up, and more profitable shipping cycles. The math is simple. Shorter routes threaten Panama's core business and reshape global supply chains. In shipping, every day counts. Efficiency is king. The Arctic's appeal is irresistible in the relentless race for speed and profit. Arctic shortcuts aren't always cheaper. Panama's toll is predictable, but the North brings new costs. Russian icebreaker escorts and transit fees can offset fuel savings, making the NSR a pricey toll road of its own. Specialized ice-class ships and high insurance premiums add to the bill. The Arctic's cost advantage depends on fuel prices, ice conditions, and timing. Sometimes it's cheaper, sometimes not. Panama offers certainty. The Arctic offers potential savings with risk and complexity. Shippers must weigh every voyage carefully. There's no simple answer. The Arctic's dangers go beyond cost. Ice flows, sudden storms, and extreme isolation make every voyage risky. A ship can be trapped by ice or delayed by weather, erasing time savings and threatening schedules. Help is far away. Ports and rescue services are scarce, making accidents potentially catastrophic. Environmental risks are huge. A spill here would devastate the fragile Arctic ecosystem, with little hope of cleanup. The Panama route, by contrast, is safe, supported, and reliable. For shippers, the Arctic's promise comes with daunting operational and reputational risks. The Arctic isn't a one-size-fits-all shortcut. Only ice-class ships carrying bulk cargo like LNG or minerals can really use these routes, and even then, it's risky and unpredictable. For high-end container shipping, think Apple or Zara, reliability matters, so they'll stick with Panama. In the end, Arctic routes are for a select few, while most global trade will still rely on the tried-and-true Panama Canal. The melting Arctic is reshaping global shipping, creating a new economic geography with big winners. Russia, with its vast Arctic coastline, is turning a former frozen headache into a strategic asset, controlling the northern sea route and raking in transit fees. Other Arctic nations like Norway, Iceland, and Finland are set to become key logistics hubs. Asian powerhouses, China, Japan, South Korea, gain faster, cheaper access to Europe. If Arctic routes stay cheaper, savings ripple through supply chains, benefiting companies and consumers worldwide. The redrawing of trade maps is shifting the global balance of power. As the world relies less on the Panama Canal, U.S. influence in the region subtly wanes. Meanwhile, the rise of Arctic routes is making the polar region a new arena for great power competition, especially between Russia and the West. Melting ice is opening new shipping lanes and energy routes, reshaping alliances and creating fresh rivalries that will define the decades ahead. The Arctic shipping routes reveal a troubling paradox. Global warming opens these paths, but also threatens this fragile ecosystem. Increased shipping risks oil spills, invasive species, and noise that harm Arctic wildlife and the food web. Black soot from ships accelerates melting, creating a vicious feedback loop. While shorter routes may cut emissions, they bring new dangers, forcing us to weigh efficiency against the Arctic's survival. We are standing at the dawn of a new maritime era, as melting Arctic ice carves new arteries of commerce across the top of the world. The Northern Sea Route and Northwest Passage are awakening, promising faster, cheaper supply chains for Asia and Europe. But this shortcut exposes the Arctic's fragile wilderness to new risks, and the geopolitical landscape is shifting. The future of shipping is complex and uncertain, shaped by both opportunity and peril. Panama's future is at a crossroads. Climate change threatens its canal, the heart of its prosperity. Droughts have shown how vulnerable this asset is, ending Panama's era of dominance. Yet Panama remains vital for trade in the Americas, with world-class ports and logistics. Its path forward lies in adaptation, innovation, and building a future beyond the canal.